Hi, this is Lance Allen with Crush'em, and I'd like to show you how our audio enhanced showing system works in a live listing. Before we go inside, I'd like to tell you a little bit about this property, just so you know what you're viewing. This property is just under 8,000 square feet. It is listed for $1.4 million, and it's located in beautiful Colorado Springs. But come on inside and let me explain how this works. As we enter the property, there is a door sensor on the front door that is going to trip and turn the tablet on. That's going to start an introductory video. Now, we are fully customizable on the amount of time that we give you before that video starts. Whatever you need, we can adjust in case you want to add a little time to put on booties, or it's a large foyer, whatever the scenario is, completely customizable. But follow me in and let's see how this works. As we open the door, the sensor is going to be tripped. Video will start playing.
Hey, you over there? Just open the door. Take a look over here.
Now, I'm going to turn that off and just kind of tell you what it says. It's a welcome video, and it just tells you to pick up the tablet, carry the tablet around with you. As you do, you will trip sensors, and the tablet will play important audio messages highlighting features of the property, and then it tells you to please return the tablet to the docking station. It also tells you that if you miss a message or if you'd like to hear it again, we have a listen again button on the tablet that you can listen to at any point in time during the showing. But let's walk through here and show you just how this works. We have a sensor placed inside this room right here, and as I enter in here, it's going to pick me up and it's going to start playing the file. So I'll show you. If you are someone who doesn't like to be cold during the winter, this house is for you. There is actually 4 different sources of heat. There's forced air, there's hot water baseboards throughout, there's hot water in-floor heat in the foyer and the great room, and if that's not enough, there's also 4 fireplaces throughout the property. All right, that's the first sensor, and we have them spread out throughout the property. Let's just move through and I will show you some. I believe we have 15 or 16 sensors in this property. We may not cover all of them, but I'll hit some of the highlights here. We have another sensor placed right there. Not only is this property absolutely beautiful during the daylight, it is gorgeous in the evenings. We would highly recommend you drive back by tonight and check out the amazing landscape lighting. Now, I would like to discuss one thing about this sensor here. This topic is like gold to me. I always recommend trying to add in an additional topic like this on one of your sensors to bring the person back to the property. There is a saying in marketing that you have to make 7 to 10 impressions before somebody takes an action. What that means is you may have to hear that ad for the new restaurant 7 to 10 times on your radio before you actually go and eat at that restaurant. And that's the same thing we're trying to accomplish here. We're trying to get those potential buyers to show back up to the property a second time. Encourage them to come back in the evening to look at how beautiful the property is. Keep this property in their thought process as much as you possibly can. Another way to do that is if you have a property that has a beautiful sunset, you might encourage them to drive back by in the evening around sunset time so that they can view that. There's a lot of options, but we open up doors with our audio enhanced showing system that you haven't had before. When was the last time that you've been able to encourage somebody to come back to the property at a different time? Let's travel through here and view a few more of the sensors. As we travel into the main room here, we have a sensor right here. Not 1, not 2, but 3 doors lead out to the main level deck. That allows you to instantly and easily double your entertainment space. All right, so everybody loves additional entertainment space. This house is beautiful for that, and we want to point out that this can become double the space. As we travel outside, I will show you the sensor that we have on the deck. We have a sensor placed right up top. Once you stop admiring this breathtaking view, you will realize that you are going to really like having the deck on this side of your house. That way you do not bake in the afternoon and evening sunlight while you're trying to enjoy your outdoor space during the summer. You will also notice that there is a stub sticking up in the center of the deck for you to install a gas fire pit, and there is a gas line ran underneath the deck so you can install a gas grill anywhere you would like. Okay, let's travel back inside and see what the kitchen has to say. I have a sensor placed right here on the cabinet. While you're cooking on your Viking stovetop, you won't have to worry about losing any pots or pans in the back of a cabinet because every one of those base cabinets has pull-out shelves. Then, when you're through cooking, you can toss all of your dishes in that brand new dishwasher. Right here. Okay, let's travel through to the additional bedroom down here on the main level. We would like to highlight that. So we have a sensor placed just inside of the room. Main level living is made possible in this home with this beautiful bedroom with an ensuite and the extra large laundry room around the corner. Now, before we move on, I'd like to talk about one topic. In this property, we don't have a directional sensor. And what I mean by that is in some properties, you need to direct the potential buyers through it. You may need to steer them outside and down into a cellar. That's what I did in the last property that I set our system up in. The realtor was very concerned that nobody could find their way down into the cellar, which had all of the mechanical upgrades that she really wanted to highlight. So we put a sensor that provided instructions on how to get into the cellar. But that's not needed in this property. This property is pretty open, but that's just another use that you can use our property or our sensors for. Let's travel through here. I'd like to discuss another topic that we have with our sensors. You may have already been thinking about this, but you will have listings where people occupy the property and where the property is empty. So if somebody still occupies the property, obviously they don't want to listen to the sensor strip all day long. So we have a very simple way to turn them off. You just press the home and away button, and that will easily allow all of the sensors to go to sleep or wake up. Now, the only thing with that is that you need to encourage the property owners that if they leave for the day, or if you call them and tell them, hey, could you step out at 1 o'clock? We're going to have a showing. Just remind them to turn the system back on. But it's very simple, just one press of a button. Let's move up the stairs and take a look at the second story. As we travel up these stairs, I've actually placed a sensor right here that will pick me up as I step by there. As you travel upstairs, we would like to point out the 7 skylights that let in the beautiful Colorado sunlight. However, if it gets a little overbearing during the summer, feel free to slide the blind shut on each one of the skylights. This is something that I like to throw in as a bonus when you have options, because you don't know when somebody's going to enter a property and they absolutely love skylights, and you also don't know when somebody enters a property and they hate skylights because they think it makes your house too hot. So point that out. Point it out and take away any kind of a negative because you have options. Anytime that you can highlight options, it's a winner. Let's go ahead and travel through the master bedroom and take a look at what we have here with the sensor. I've placed the sensor right down here. As we enter in, the message will be played. As you enter the master bedroom, I want you to imagine enjoying your morning coffee while soaking up the morning sun on your private deck. What a stunning view of the city. If reading in bed is your thing, you are in luck with the many lighting options this room has to offer. Also, don't forget to check out the huge cedar-lined closet just inside the master bath. All right, let's travel to the other end of the second story here, and we're actually going to trip one that is one of my favorite ones in the property. This is an option where we have, before I get to it, we have 2 options with the sensor like this. We could either briefly touch on the topic. In fact, in one of the properties I did a couple weeks ago, we had the exact same type of topic, and we just briefly touched on it to continue the flow nice and smoothly. However, this one, we're going to describe it a little bit more. We're talking about the whole house fan up here. So let me trip this sensor right there. This property features a whole house fan in the upper level hallway. Whole house fans offer tremendous benefits like the ability to cool your house much faster in a much more eco-friendly manner by drastically reducing your dependency on your 2 AC units. This also means your utility bills will be considerably reduced, all while filling your house with fresh mountain air. what I mentioned about giving more information or a little bit less information, that is up to you, whatever you would like to do. If you'd like to give less information, like at the other property, we just briefly touched on it. That way people would Google it. Maybe they don't even know what a whole house span is, but maybe that you want to have them think about your property again or ask questions about it. This one, we want to drive home the fact that it is such a wonderful feature and why it's a wonderful feature, so we go ahead and expand on it. In this scenario, we want to make sure that they open the closets and they don't miss out on a feature. So there's a sensor down here that will trip and play a message about this closet. If you will open the second set of double doors in the hallway, you will notice that light laundry is a breeze with the addition of the upper level hookups for a stackable washer and dryer. Somebody might just walk past that and you never know. This might, the buyers might hate having to carry their laundry up and down. This house features 2 laundry rooms, the main laundry room down low, and then this one that you can put stackable washers and dryers in. I don't know about you, but I can't stand carrying big baskets full of laundry from one level to the next. This is just an added bonus that we don't want anybody to miss. But now, let's travel to the basement and we will discuss several, or a couple of sensors in the basement. As we travel into the basement, I have a sensor that's going to direct us where to go. And this is where we think about traveling through the property and how we want somebody to view the property. And what I mean by that is if you go to the left, there's a few bonuses in the basement, which I'll show you. But if you turn to the right, that's where the basement is great. So you have the option of directing people to the left to see some extra bonuses, or turn them to the right and give that grand impression whenever they go down into the basement. And that's what we're going to do. So if you listen to this sensor, it's going to encourage us to turn to the right to see the great stuff first, then we'll go see the added bonuses after that. As you travel down into the basement, you will notice to your right that this is the entertainer's dream. It offers a large bar, large gathering space, and a designated space for a pool table. If that's not enough, as you step outside onto the secluded deck, take a look to your left at the hot tub ready private courtyard. With the 3/4 bath providing a space to change after a dip in the hot tub, there is no reason to ever have to go upstairs. The basement was one of the most utilized and enjoyed spaces of the entire property. So we've highlighted the courtyard. We've encouraged people to at least look at it, if not step out on their own to look at it. Then as you travel through here, they'll pick up the other elements, a 3/4 bath, another additional room here. As they come through here, I've placed an extra one here that's just a fun sensor. I like this one, so take a listen to it. There is an added bonus in the entertainment space. The basement fireplace is actually remote controlled, and the remote acts as a mobile thermostat. Let's say you and some buddies are getting a little cold while playing pool. Set the remote near you, and the fireplace will heat the entire space until your area reaches your desired temperature. Again, you don't know when somebody likes technology, and that might just be the cool thing that helps them remember this property, and again, inches you up that list whenever they're comparing you against additional properties that they're looking at. You don't have to go crazy with our sensors. We don't want to be a distraction in the property. We want to be an enhancement. We try and keep most of the messages short. I average about 21 seconds on the message. That seems to be the sweet spot. Sometimes if you want to deliver additional information, like the one upstairs with the whole house span, it might get a little bit longer. But generally you want to keep it a little bit shorter and just be some quick hitters. And again, because you want everybody to view the property, but you don't want them to miss anything on the property, and we're giving that enhancement. So let's go through here and I'll show you the last sensor. I have one placed right here at the bottom of the door. As you travel through the Tuscan wine cellar, you will find a couple of bonus rooms. The first room you enter is a room that the previous homeowners used as their exercise room. Then to your right, you will find a large craft room. I hope that this makes a little more sense of how our audio enhanced showing system actually works in a property. And just remember that we are completely customizable. You can use as many sensors as you would like. You can change the timing on it to make the flow appropriate through. We have many, many options to customize it because every property is different. And don't think that our system is just for high-end properties. We use them on all price range of properties because every property can be enhanced. They can be brought to the next level to crush their competition. That is the goal, to make more people fall in love with the property, resulting in faster sales at a higher price. And we make you as a listing agent more marketable when you are going to try and get that listing or seal that deal and sign that contract. The other thing that I'd like to point out is that I have a bunch of tips and tricks on our website that shows you other ways to use our sensors. I talk about how to use kinesthetic learning. I talk about how to use humor. I talk about how to turn a negative into a positive, or at least if you can't turn that negative into a positive, you might be able to wipe away that negative and no longer have a strike against you. For instance, one of the properties that we just did was on a really busy street. However, it was a very old home that was constructed super strong with super thick walls, and the second you closed that front door, it became silent inside. In fact, I was amazed when the realtor pointed that out. So if you want to point something out like that, you can take that strike away from you when those people are walking in that door already thinking that it's a busy street. But again, many, many tips, many, many options on the website. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call. Thank you.